Okay, so this is going to be the probably last video that I do around the election, around politics, because I took a pause because I felt like I got the message through, but I want to approach this in a different way. So the headliner is, this election doesn't fucking matter. Okay, first of all, I'm speaking to my friends that are spiritual, that are self-aware. I'm not speaking to the masses. I'm not worried about trying to wake anyone up at this point that's so just enamored with sucking on the tittle of the matrix that they're just not going to find their way out, at least not right now. That's fine. But for those of you that have already went through your awakening, that already know that there's deception in the world and at a cosmic level, I'm speaking more so to the people that I see that are already on their spiritual path that think that this election fucking matters. I know that we're just days away from it. Maybe you've cast your vote already. Maybe you're going to cast it. If it makes you feel better, fine. But after that, drop it. And honestly, drop it before that, because here's the thing. When I first connected with the astrology of 2025, back in 2020, I was like, oh shit, here it is. This is what Ronald Reagan sort of prophesied and alluded to, which is that it would take a collective threat that humanity would face that's a common enemy threat, that regardless of belief systems, political party, religion, skin color, gender, all that shit, that we're gonna have to face it. And that's what's coming. That's what's coming in 2025, 2026. So this election doesn't fucking matter. I think we're being too short-sighted. And I say we to have empathy, but it's like short-sightedness as in thinking that whoever wins office in the US is somehow going to like be the future of the next 4 years. And it's like, first of all, even if 2025, 2026 wasn't on the horizon, do you really think that there's any real democracy even left in this country after the shit that's been happening? Please direct your attention, if you get this, to being your own leader in your own life. This is a time for doing your shadow work, for being rooted in your personal life and the things that you need to take care of for your overall health and balance, to make sure that you're cleaning up the past and then you're creating a space for yourself to be dialed into your intuition so that you can make sure that how you're leading your life with purpose and where you're going is coming from you, that it's not a program. Because I'm going to fucking tell you that if you still think this election matters, you are still stuck in a fucking program. And it's sad. It's I'll be honest, and I would tell it to your face, it's sad to watch you still believe in that stuff if we've talked or we're friends or whatever it is. Like, guys, it doesn't matter. You know, and the other one I see too, it's like, I see a lot of women posting about it being an issue over like their bodies and abortion and all this stuff. And it's like, I mean, this is textbook shadow work 101. You've centuries of oppression, of powerlessness. And so this pushback that you're feeling is these deep triggers of this ancestral lineage of like where you had masculine energy or patriarchal energy having power over you. It's still a call for shadow work. Regardless of who gets in office, there's going to be so many fucking issues coming these next couple of years. The policies of whatever administration wins is not going to matter. This thing is coming down. We hear it every 4 fucking years. Oh, it's the biggest fucking election ever. It's a bit blah, blah, blah. Like, democracy in America is dead. And you're buying into the mentality that because you care, which that's the positive, right? Because you care where the future is going, but you've misplaced your sense of trust in an outside authority in a broken system that has so much control on every angle and aspect of it that you can't possibly see what comes on the other side on why how much this doesn't matter. And I've been saying that for months, and I'm just getting more confirmation from my guides that it's like, you know, I think what this is really about is like you not getting hung up on your spiritual development, your journey of what you could be doing in your life, because you're wasting precious time and energy on this thing, like getting all pumped up about it or trying to convince other people why the other candidate's bad. It's like, who gives a fuck? It's like, one thing I've learned through astrology, it's like Leo energy, which when you watch this, it's probably going to be Mars has just entered Leo, where it's going to go retrograde. One thing I've learned is that that passion energy of the heart, it wants to go somewhere. And so it's like when you lack conviction and purpose of doing something you love, you put it into drama. You stir up drama and controversy on purpose, and then you're in the middle of it, and then it ends up not mattering because you're not your own source of inspiration and creation of originality to do something, because that's what this is about. It's about being original, and getting stuck in a political debate, even if you think you're evolved and spiritual or, you know, whatever it is distracting you from like where you could be working with your angels, your spirit guides, where you could be doing shadow work, whatever it is that you have to do to round yourself into the highest level of self-mastery that we've ever been called to be fucking original and be your own leader. And this is a paying it forward thing too for a lot of us, because for some, and I feel this very much for myself, it's like there are limitations in this current model that we've been existing in, to where you can't really see far enough on the other side of the uncertainty of how that leadership of self-mastery, of self-alignment, of healing work is going to translate into something effective that's going to matter. And so I want to encourage you to not see that your own efforts are in vain or in futility because you see this matrix program that's convinced us that it is the person at the top that affects the most change down, and that's the only hope that we have, is that they are the change or they are the reform to influence us, or whether it's like, you know, actors or movie stars or, you know, same thing, or rock stars, you know, music stars, like all this matrix shit. This is boots on the ground. Like, who gives a shit? What are you doing in your personal life with your families, right? Your business, your, you know, with your kids, your communities. Like, that's where the change is at. And developing a strong connection to spirit and your intuition, and like knowing yourself frontwards, backwards, forwards. The way through this uncertainty of the maze of God's providence is being connected to your intuition so that you can lead, not just survive, but go to a place of fruition and establishing yourself as like a new earth leader by having that connection. But when you get distracted by this shit out here in the media, and including this matrix political fucking bullshit, you're having your life force energy essentially siphoned from you to where you can't lead. You're focused on something that doesn't matter. So there's a major opportunity cost to living and thinking in this way that this election matters. So I've said my piece. I've felt this strongly ever since we entered into this election season, and that you know, I said CV was bullshit when it came out. I said the jab was BS when it came out. I prophesized in 2020 that there was going to be a developing fertility crisis, and we're just seeing the beginning stages of that. So I think I've earned my keep enough to say I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You're going to see that within 6 months from now, that it didn't matter. And so much so to the point where there won't even be any question about what if the other person would have won, or what if this would have went different. Like, we're going to see it that it actually didn't fucking matter. And this deals with, and this is a whole nother can of worms of a video, you know, it's like, well, what is the collective outside thing to where the election doesn't matter? And it's like, well, I will summarize and say it's AI, it's ETs, it's global infrastructure, it's economics, and basically we're just in some incredible transitional energies that are moving the templates of society out of an old matrix program, and things have to shift. And so getting hung up and getting passionate and dramatic about who wins or loses this election is a waste of fucking time. So anyways, if you want to get a reading, pop into that link down below. If you want to learn about what 2025 holds for your sun rising sign, I did for all 12 signs what the outer planets mean, shifting signs. I call it destiny tug of war, how to not play small. Because as we're going through these transitions in 2025, it's going to be easy to want to just like, you know, build your fucking bunker, you know, and just like hide out, whatever, and be a little bitch. But really, this is about stepping into your destined path, and you know, death is coming for everyone at some point in our lives. And so, you know, I think it's time we talk about Pluto in these last few weeks of Capricorn, that it's like, it's in your face of the top, you know, just father time, the clock's ticking, you know, like who's going to be here and establish themselves fully for where we go in these next few years, who's already doing the work, that's really ready to commit to that next leg of that journey to keep going. So yeah, that $9 special, that link will be down below. Astrology ebook, if you want to study your astrology chart, will be down below as well. And what else I got cooking? A lot. Things are in the mix. Yeah. So I'm also looking at extending the men's group that I host in person out of my home to a hybrid model of remote. So I'm going to start putting that announcement more out publicly, that for those that are not in the St. Louis, Missouri area and you want to join a group of men that are co-eldering, so to speak, you know, we're supportive of one another, we're evolving, we're learning, we're growing. Send me an email, astrologerericrosen@gmail.com, to get more info about that. And I'll probably put the link down below as well for anyone that wants to check that out. So I bid you adieu. Just, you know, no matter what, whether you resonated with this or not, I want to say this isn't about, because the playing small energy has already started. This isn't about like having to shield yourself from, you know, the energy of like what's coming, like with the stuff with the election and the weeks, months that lead after it. It's more so about getting to a space where you're feeling so rooted in yourself that you remember that like you're not powerless, like you were equipped to evolve and thrive during this time. And it's like you need to like, we all need to learn how to demand and command, as monotonous as that can be if we're ever feeling weak or depleted, to call in the mana, the nourishment that we need to establish and lead our lives to go in a positive direction that's connected to community, that's building, that's positive, that's going to flourish, to, you know, get into a positioning for where this new earth can go. But, you know, that comes more Pluto and Aquarius after the 19th and 20th of this month, still Pluto and Capricorn. So it's like break the shackles of anything that feels like it's holding you back. And so part of that illusion is that the power, the authority, the governance is somehow the outside authority still, and that it somehow runs our lives like that. And it couldn't be further from the truth anymore. In spiritual war, it transcends the physicality of the matrix programs. And so anyone at this point can become a co-creator of their reality. It's just learning how to tap into these quantum sources of things, of how to like work with your higher self, your multidimensional self, to work with shifting out of stupid ass belief systems that are keeping you stuck. So that's what I do with my 3 and 6 month coaching container clients. So if you want to learn more about that and working with me one-on-one, I'll drop that link down below, that work with me one-on-one link. So love you all. Stay sane out there. It's not about judging other people or putting them down for whatever they're choosing. You know, it hasn't been about that for a while, but I think we do have to assert kind of our spiritual dominance a little bit, of like, which pillar do you want to hold, in terms of like whatever it is that you're creating, or your voice or your expression, or how to not fold or people please, you know, in moments when it seems like that's the best thing to do to like keep the peace, and it's suppressing your appetite of healing, and actually that healing that's stepping more into self-authenticity. So love you all. See you in the next video.